Hi everyone. So I'm doing my learning objective in movie form just because there was a lot of images that I made and I wanted to make it all make sense. So hyaluronan is attached to the plasma membrane and it is in the extracellular matrix. And as we discussed in lecture, it's negatively charged due to the CO minus groups and the SO4 minus groups. So this is naturally going to attract the positive ions that are floating around up cells. So this is what that looks like. Now the positive ions and the negative ions together are going to attract water because there is a high density gradient right there. So the water's all going to want to rush in to diffuse, and this would look like that. So now we have this huge pocket of water and ions and the hyaluronan. So this is just an expanded view. If there were 3 hyaluronan molecules surrounding it, this whole section of the plasma membrane would be coated. And as I said here, it's now lubricated and it's resistant to compression because of the high turgor pressure. So when all the water rushes in, that's going to create high turgor pressure and it's going to be very hard to compress that. So it's great for things that need lubrication, such as moving cells or knee joints, like we said. And knee joints are especially useful example because they have high compression as well. So we don't want something that will break down every time we step. And this is a great way to avoid that. Now, another part of my learning objective was to explain what the hyaluronidase would do. So, by its name, we assume that it's an enzyme that breaks down hyaluronan, which it does. So here it attaches to the hyaluronan, and it starts breaking it down. And as it's breaking down, there's less of the negative charge there to attract the positive ions, so the positive ions start leaving. And I didn't really draw it here, but as the positive ions start leaving, the water doesn't need to be there as much, so the water will start leaving as well. Here, the hyaluronan is completely broken down, everything's released, everything goes back to just floating around in the extracellular matrix and outside the cell. Now this is the best way I could explain it using real-world items. So here we have a normal glove without a coating trying to move. So we can think about it as the filopodia of a cell trying to move across any surface without this coating. So it just kind of gets stuck and there's nothing really to help it glide. But once we have a coating of this high turgor pressure area with water and ions, which is represented by the other glove here, it's going to glide much easier across the surface. Now this is a somewhat silly example, but it really explains the point of how it works. And again, the hyaluronidase is going to break it down and just make everything release, and we're not going to get that lubrication.